What is up, guys? I crave with Spilt Milk here. Here I am at London Comic Con. As you can see, got my Han Solo shirt. You can be my scruffy looking nerf herder, you know what it says on there. So here I am, just like an exhibition. Hopefully, see some stars. Hope to see Matt Smith today, Colin Baker. There's Jodie Whittaker on tomorrow, and David Tennant. So hopefully, let's go and see some stars. Hi everyone, well how's it going? I crave with Spilt Milk here from the 2022 London Winter Comic Con. I'm trying a new format for these videos. Do you like the new format? Let me know in the comments. Matt Smith, Jodie Whittaker, and David Tennant all headlining. Spoiler alert, unfortunately I could not get any of them to do an autograph as Diamond Pass holders had priority and all three had other commitments, so limited time for autographs. With Jodie, for example, as early as 11 a.m., she had a back at 4 p.m. sign on her table, which is pretty annoying, especially for me and my posse, because we all queued up, quite early before the start of the event, grabbing a low virtual ticket number. I think we got all in the low hundreds for all. Well, I got all for all three of these people. Got a ticket number in the low 100s. So hopefully, once we get the autographs done, I should be seen quite quickly. Learned the lesson though. Grab a Darwin pass early on if you want to speak to a superstar. This has left a sour taste in my mouth, and I probably won't attend a Comic Con in London unless there is someone I really want to see. It is getting quite expensive, and I do have a big collection of autographs already. I now have all the Doctors Who's between Peter Davidson and Christopher Eccleston. I was hoping to get Davidson to Matt Smith, but I'll have to try this another time. I suppose the silver lining in this is that Smith, Tennant, and Whittaker, they were all between £90 to £110 for an autograph, so I have saved a lot of dough. Guess you have to be all in with a big diamond pass for hundreds of pounds and not rely on getting lucky with a standard ticket. I mean, you get what you pay for. Yeah, I hope you like the shirt. It's a Han Solo one. I normally wear my Nerf Herder t-shirt. This one says, I'm not sure if you can see it here. It says, "I'll be your scruffy-looking Nerf Herder," like a Valentine's Day one. So I hope you all saw that. Okay. So anyway, let's get to the meat on the bone. The business of the matter. Who did I get to see over the 2 days on the 19th and 20th of November? I like speaking to the lesser stars. I'll put that in inverted marks, lesser stars. I mean, all stars, all amazing people. But you got your big stars, and you got your stars that are not quite the superstars yet. Let's put it that way. I think we'll stick with that. Stop digging my hole. um, as you might not get a star-studded autograph, but you'll get a few minutes of the celebrity and some good, interesting insights. I learned this a lot this year. I saw a lot of extras from Star Wars. And let's start with Star Wars. I've got the shirt on. I saw a lot of extras from Star Wars, lots of Stormtroopers. I saw Laurie Good, um, who played as you can see, a monster in the alien from the Mos Eisley Cantina. He also played a Stormtrooper in the New Hope Death Star. Um, I also got John Galvin. Here he is. I'm not sure if you can see this. So you can see him circled, hopefully. Um, I also got John Galvin, who was an Imperial officer in Return of the Jedi. I found absolutely hilarious in the press material. John was not in the photo they used. They got the wrong side of the room. So in his photo, they got this side. They had him showing this side. Yeah, as you can see, he was over here. So I found that quite hilarious. Was not in the photo used. They got completely the wrong side of the room. Um, why did that happen? Why didn't he kick him first? I don't know. Um, yeah, that's why I got him to circle himself so I could explain, the situation and what happened. I also got Stephen Bailey here. Um, uh, he played unit TK421, as you can see. He's the one that tapped his headset to say, I can't hear you. That's the wrong side for me. Microphone's this side. Um, yeah, so this is funny. I asked Stephen, the other one, the stormtrooper that banged his head. Do you know who that was? He had the name on the post-it note. Perhaps this was the most thing. This is perhaps the biggest thing he was FAQ'd on. Out of everything he could have written down on that post-it note, he had one thing written on it, and it's the name of Vic Galushi, and he's the one that banged his head, the stormtrooper that banged his head that we know in the first episode. I'll see if I can get so you can see it again, if you haven't seen it before. Apparently now he's Vic Galushi is now a car salesman nowadays. Maybe he's still banging his head. Who knows? It would be amazing to get an autograph from Vic and finding out how badly that bang on the head hurt. Staying with Star Wars, now it's quite an interesting one. I saw Darth Vader costume actor Dmitris Biftrevsky. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Here he is. So you got there to Jake. That's my name. If you don't know, you can't run, Obi-Wan. And there he is. So I hope that's you can see that really clearly. I need to definitely invest in a new camera, camera on my phone, so I can take some clear images. So that's part of the reason why I'm trying a new format. As you can see in the photo, he goes by Darth Demetrius now. Demetrius played Vader in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. I got great insight into how Demetrius prepared for the role of Darth Vader. He told me he was terrified of mucking it up. I completely get it. You don't want to be slammed for poorly portraying such an iconic character. You know your Spider-Man's, Batman's, Superman's. Even if you're cast as Doctor Who, you're going to be compared to other actors who played the role. You don't want to be, slated the worst one. Demetrius took me on a journey. He asked his agent, when you got the role for advice. He's a few people only knew about it. It's all top secret. When it's done, when it's announced, that sort of thing. When you learn about the role, it's all top secret. So he asked his agent for advice, and his agent said, "The best advice I can give you is to not give you any advice." Then Demetrius showed me he really did do all the prep he could for the role. He researched the lore of Vader, his journey thus far, and really got onto a spiritual level with Vader himself, the actual person. Um, for Demetrius, Vader is the chosen one. The Force reaches out and communicates with him. Vader does not need to seek it out, meditate to connect with the Force. The Force finds him. And that's why it's frustrated with the Jedi. And now I do believe that the Jedi were holding Vader when he was Anakin Skywalker back. I think this is the truth, as the Jedi knew Anakin had to be controlled, otherwise he might become the spiritual leader of the Jedi religion. That's something obviously don't want to do. We want to be the ones that have the power. We don't want Anakin Skywalker having all the power. Everyone, worshipping him maybe, and so on. Demetrius claims Vader was also a Jedi, was always a Jedi, even under the dark side of the Force, as the dark side allowed Vader to fully realize his gift. I'm going on about this one for a long time, so I will finish now to say, because Demetrius said, sorry, I've got the quote here, so I was trying to find it quickly. Vader was quite offended in A New Hope when the Imperial General sneered at Vader's religion. At the time, Vader was one of the few people who understood the Force, and Vader believed that at that time he was a god, and how dare the Imperial officer essentially question God. Anyway, by doing all this prep, he could act as a true to the laws as could be to Fader, and not simply copy other actors. I mean, when you're an actor, you got to try and find your own way to the character. Otherwise you can't just copy other characters. Otherwise, it just wouldn't play right. If I asked Demetrius basically, in a nutshell, if I asked Demetrius to write me an essay on Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, I reckon he probably could write me a book. There probably is one already out. I haven't actually looked, but I bet there's probably a book out there with Demetrius. Maybe there might be some sort of autobiography where he quotes it a lot. Okay, let's move on now to a different franchise. You knew it was coming when I went banged on about the three heavyweights of the franchise in attendance at this event. Let's now talk about Doctor Who. I feel accomplished managing to grab Colin Baker. Here he is. So you can see Colin Baker. He signed it as number 6. He's the 6th Doctor. There he is. Hope you can see it okay. Let's put it around a bit. So Colin Baker, outside the three heavyweights, he was the highest person on my hit list. If I can't get those three, you know, Colin Baker would be the biggest person I want to speak to. This means I now have all autographs of all the Doctors from number 5 to number 9. Such a shame I could not get 10, 11, and 13 over the weekend. So we just needed number 12, Peter Capaldi, and number 4, see if I can try and get number 4 for Tom Baker. And it's falling on the floor. Although I understand the chances of getting Tom Baker very slim, uh, you know, but it's been nice to try and get him if I can. Colin asked me in the photo what the tennis ball's doing in the bottom right. I'll bring that up, see if I can get that quickly. It's on the floor. There he is. So let me just bring up. You can see got some Pokemon cards, but behind me, I got them from a previous. I took a photo at the Comic Con. I might show it to you in the video of me getting some more photographs with the cards. There's quite a lot of them. I think they're really cool. I like them a lot. So I'm just going to show you the picture again. You can see those tennis balls there. Colin Baker was asking me, and it's fallen on the floor again. Never mind. Although I understand, yeah. Anyway, so Colin asked. Come on, let's get the right Baker. I was talking about Tom Baker. Let's get Colin Baker. So Colin asked me, "What's the tennis balls doing on the bottom right?" I don't know. I said you were there at the time. I think it's meant to be like a mobile of the planets. Coming up to date to the modern Doctor Who era, I saw Craig Ells or Craig Ells. I'm not sure if it's pronounced correctly. Here he is. He played. So there he goes. That's what he said, and that's his autograph. So he basically he played the Chief Sea Devil in the one-off special. Let's put that down so I don't lose it. So he played both the Chief Sea Devil in the one-off special Legend of the Sea Devils, more iconically as the Carvanista in the Doctor Who Flux storyline. As I hope you can see, he's demanding his human back in the quote. I hope you saw that. I asked him which out of the two he enjoyed the most. He said he couldn't pick a winner. Very cliche answer, but a very diplomatic one nonetheless. I also grabbed Harry Lloyd as well. Um, Here he is, Harry Lloyd. Here you go. He says to Jake, fan of mine. He goes, brother of mine, mother of mine, son of mine, and so on and so forth. Didn't say son of mine. Well, yeah. Well, he wouldn't say it, but his father would say son of mine. Anyway, so Harry Lloyd, he's the most known for his role in Game of Thrones, but here he is as Jeremy Baines. As I said before, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of his. I'm a fan of mine, as it says on here. I couldn't keep in, you couldn't keep in character, keep a character and put it better myself. I also saw, moving on, I also saw Mariana Burring. Here she is. So nice close up of her. As you can see, so Mariana Burring, she was lovely, giving me some love. As you can see, she got a little love heart for me. There it is. I love that. Here she is, a member of the crew. She was in the Satan Pits episode before she floats off into space. That was filmed in a swimming pool. Did you know? Perhaps one of her more sort of normal roles she has played. We know her from the realm of spiritual fantasy, reprising roles in The Witcher and in the Twilight Saga, among other things. It was lovely hearing about all the places she has been to. She's well travelled. Just for a bit of flavour, she was born in Sweden. She grew up in the Middle East and then moved to the UK when she was 16. I asked her, out of all the places she's been, what's her favourite? It does change. I mean, it's like if you ask me what my favourite song is, it probably changes my mood, how I'm feeling, what have I listened to, that sort of thing. But today she said it's Muscat in Oman. So, yeah. So maybe I'm all open. If you're open to this, Mariana, I'm more than happy for you to take me to Muscat and give me a tour and show me all of the sights of that Muscat has to offer. Anyway, nervous laugh there. And before I dig myself too deep, let's quickly move on. Another interesting actor I spoke to was Joplin Sibtain. I do apologise if I pronounced that incorrectly. Here he is. Um, so you got him there. I think he's playing the role of Tarek. I think his name was in the episode of Doctor Who. Hope you can see that okay. Who was not only so back to Joplin Stalin Joplin Sibtain. It's very confusing with a name like that. It's you can sure they're all falling on the floor. I'll pick them up in a minute. Who was not only in the Doctor Who and Waters of Mars episode, he's also in the Andor Star Wars series. But I got a picture of him in Doctor Who. The cracks on his face was done by the prosthetics and makeup, with the water going up a tube on Joplin's back and out through the cracks on his face. It was interesting as Joplin asked me if Michael Ironside and Robert Picardo were at the con today, which they were. He said he'd like to meet them, and his helper said though they will try and make arrangements. It's fascinating to hear that because we forget the stars are also fellow humans, and they also watch films like we do and TV. I hope Joplin did get a few minutes with both Michael and Robert. Maybe I didn't actually know. Maybe he's a fan of Total Recall or both in that, as you'll find out. So let's stay with this theme. Same with Robert Picardo and the theme of special effects. Here he is, etc. So he's got this quote. So there's a signature. He says, "To Jake, 18 credits, please." It was 25. It was £25 for a. I said to him. I did say to him, you should do it for 18. That's what Johnny Cab quoted me. Um, you couldn't really argue. It's not really he didn't really set the prices, so should have spoken to his helper about that. Anyway, so here he is. So here's Robert Picardo's Johnny Cab from Total Recall. Robert Picard is better known for Star Trek, but surprisingly, I'm not into Star Trek. Be warned, another insight alert. I asked Robert about the voice lines. So I asked Robert about Johnny Cab. He said the film director liked my Well, I did ask about voice lines. I'm coming on to that. The film director liked his face, and the director got a mold of it and made the face of Johnny Cab, and then Robert recorded the voice lines he had been given. That's not his actual head in the prop. I can understand why the director chose to do this. So Johnny Cab could be all mechanical, and so Arnie could really manhandle the driver, and that's what people love about Arnie. The violence, the action. I then asked Robert what was it like to working with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Unfortunately, Robert told me he wasn't actually involved in the set, and this frustrated Robert, as he wanted to record on set and add a bit of artistic spontaneity to the role. Um, so after Arnie, as the character's name is Douglas Quaid in Total Recall, asks, "Where am I?" After waking up, Robert wanted Johnny Cab's reply to be something on the lines of, "Wow, you sound like you're from out of town, like a really, like a real cab driver might say." But the director wouldn't have this, this artistic spontaneity, unfortunately. I assume the reason why that Robert wasn't actually in the film. It's only his a mold of him, a prosthetics of him, because it might conflict with Robert's Star Trek work, and may have confused the audience if Robert was really in the film of a similar genre to Star Trek. Hence, he is here with my favorite quote: "18 credits, please." Then he says, "I'm Sumi D head." I love that. That's brilliant. I did want to get Michael Ironside for his role as Richter in Total Recall. Unfortunately, he did not have any good picture of him as Richter. Otherwise, it would have been awesome to get both from one from him and from him and Robert from my favorite one of my favorite Arnie films. Just thinking about it, I don't think Richard's got many good voice lines. He didn't say much. He just chases Douglas Quaid around a lot. In case you haven't guessed, I'm a big Arnie fan, and I would get whatever is higher than diamond ticket to see him, whatever the price. Yeah, I'll do whatever it takes to see him. If it actually had, he was going to come to a Comic Con, I'll be right on it straight away. I want what's higher than diamond. I don't know. Yeah, platinum or titan. I don't know. Anyway, um, Yeah, so I would get him if I did get him. I managed to get get a few minutes with Arnie to do an autograph. I would get him to put the "fu a hole" quote from the first Terminator movie. I like the bit where he goes through all the options in his face. He says, "Hey, what's the matter? You got a dead cat in there," and then he goes through all the options like yes, no, come back later, fu a hole, and he goes fu a hole. That's brilliant. And it's like and I think to myself, that's how my brain works sometimes. Of course, I don't want to say something like that, but it's like kind of how our brains work. Found it quite funny. What one liner would you have from Arnie if you had the chance and if money was no object? Let me know in the comments what you would pick. Other favourites I like include "Hello, cutie pie. One of us is in deep trouble." That's from The Running Man. "I'm a cop, you idiot!" from Kindergarten Cop, and the Uzi 9mm from The Terminator. Um, Now we're coming to the end of the video. So I know some people saying thank God. Um, yeah. So here's one that I wasn't. This is someone I didn't have any intention of getting an autograph from the start of the day. Lord Fabres. There. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Known for a role as Pollution in Good Omens, which I'm trying to get around to see after speaking to Lord. As an Amazon exclusive, I tried to stay clear of the subscription exclusives, as I don't think I'll have the time to get my money's worth out of the subscription, but I may make an exception this time. Plus, who does not want free delivery service? Want the delivery services provided by Amazon Prime? What happened is she waved hi to me as I was walking past and started talking to her. One of her fans joined the conversation, and now I want to watch Good Omens after seeing how powerful her character is. I got her autograph for her role in the James Bond film No Time to Die, as you can see, where she played a Spectre agent. I asked her about Daniel Craig, and she said he is a cheeky, good-humoured chappie. Well, that's all I've got from this year's WinterCon. There's also Bonnie Langford and Sylvester McCoy there. Long-time viewers would already know. I've already got these as the 2-for-1 on an autograph together. Bonnie still does not have a photo of her as Carmel from EastEnders. It's such a shame because I would have got one of for her role as Carmel. As for me, this is the role I best know her for. I've not really watched Doctor Who from Sylvester McCoy backwards, unfortunately, but maybe I need some more time to watch everything, just to get more watching. Also, there was Chris Barry there and John Glover, who I have met before at various other cons. Now, a bit of sad news. While I was at the con, I learned that Jason David Frank from the Power Rangers, here he is. Um, yeah. The Power Rangers, my favorite show as a boy. Unfortunately, he's passed away. So I'm pleased to have met him. I think that was at the 2015 con. I met him. Um, I know it's definitely before the pandemic. But I can't remember what year. Was it 2016, 2017? I can't remember when he was at. I think it was at a summer con at Olympia. So I'm pleased to have met him at the 2015 one. May you rest in peace, our forever Green Ranger. And I'm very sorry to hear this news. And yeah, may you rest in peace, Jason David Frank. I hope you enjoyed the video, and please stay subscribed to be notified first about the next video. You do not even need a diamond pass for that. Thank you very much. Goodbye.